afternoon, good morning, good midday, whenever you're watching this, and welcome to Dreaming of Scrubs. My name is Jessica. I'm 17 years old. I am currently a senior in high school, about to go to college for what? Nursing. And therefore, I'm dreaming of Scrubs. You get it? So the purpose of this channel is a lot of things. It's a lot of things. So one of them is a learning experience for me. I find that whenever I teach, I learn better and I can help other people find out what they want to do with their life, specifically in terms of nursing. And I find that these days people make it a really stressful process to find out what you're going to do with your life, and most of all, I want this to be a safe, relatable space for people to come to for information. I want to do research for whoever's watching, the young middle schooler who's like, nursing seems kind of cool, or the nursing student who's wondering what's going on and who's gonna go into the field, aka me. I'm just doing the research, putting it on here, and making it hopefully an enjoyable experience. So here we go. So this whole thing is part of a program at my school called Independent Study and Mentorship, which is where I get to study whatever I want to do with my life and really dive deep in what it takes to get there, what people do daily on the job, and the mentorship part is something that I really appreciate and that I wish everybody could get to do. I've had the opportunity to work with Mr. Johnny Pham. He works in Dallas at the Dallas VA Medical Center and works as a nurse, of course, on the cardiac step-down floor. For him, finding his passion was really easy, and it came very naturally, and it was very solidified in his experience with the help of his sister-in-law, which I think is super cool. But everybody has their stories, and here's mine. This video was meant to be recorded a very long time ago, and it was, but things changed, and we'll get there. I went from wanting to be a dentist to wanting to be a lawyer to being a, what's it called? It's not even that hard. Oh, I wanted to be a detective, a police officer. One of the things that was consistent with what I wanted to do was to help people. That was something that I was really passionate about and something that I really knew that I wanted to do, because I just wanted to contribute to the world and make an impact. Not maybe the biggest one on earth, but one patient at a time. As a small child, I grew up with a lot of doctor's appointments and hospital visits and a lot of things wrong with me. Back in 2015, 2016, somewhere around that time, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, which to a lot of people, you'll say, hey, that's an old people's disease. What are you doing with that? I don't know, but I've had it. I've been having it. I've survived. It was a really long journey. And that was one of the things that really took a toll on me and my outlook on the world, is as a sick kid, you feel hopeless. You feel like your childhood is over, and I didn't want that for anybody else. It was always the nurses that were there for me, to treat me like a human, to treat me with love and compassion when I felt so weak and defeated by my own body, and that was something that I felt like I owed to the world, to treat everybody with love and compassion. Being the one in the hospital bed made me so full of wonder of how the medical field worked, and ever since that great awakening of what I wanted to do with my life, I went on and I got my lifeguarding certification, which included basic lifeguarding, CPR, AED, first aid, the whole thing. And that was an experience. Got to learn a lot about the human body, how to respond, how to deal with stress, and running through drills multiple times, like pushing my body to limits that I didn't even know I had. And a lot of people would be tired. A lot of people would say, how do you do that? I love it. I love pushing myself. I love being relied on, if that makes sense. Remember when I said that this video was meant to be recorded, but things changed this past January. That one day whenever it snowed here in Texas for the first time in a very long time, that day was the day that a lot of things changed for us. That day my sister was feeling a lot of pain in her lower abdomen area, and it was very abnormal because usually I'm the sick one, and so I was freaking out. I was like, what's going on? She was admitted to a hospital that day for many hours. In those many hours, I just remember feeling of wanting to be there with her. And most of all, wishing that I was the person beside her in those scrubs taking care of her. There were no visitors allowed. No one was allowed to go in there with her, so she went in alone. That week, she was diagnosed with an earlier stage of ovarian cancer. She has finished 4 months of chemotherapy, and through that whole process, I got the hands-on experience that I am not able to get through this independent study program in school. I'm very limited by the circumstances of COVID. You know, I'm not allowed to go shadow my mentor like I want to in the hospital or a clinic or a doctor's office or anything like that. So throughout these 4 months, I had the eye-opening experience of playing nurse. It's an indescribable feeling getting to be there for her. And I can't even imagine what it's going to be like when I can be there for so many people and see them grow and see them survive and help them realize that they are not defined by their disease, they're not defined by their injury or whatever is wrong. I want to see patients smile. I want to be the reason they smile. Everybody deserves to know that medical professionals are doing everything in their power to make sure that they're going to be okay. I've never been so excited to do something probably ever, because I know that it's a future that's going to take me very far. There's a lot of opportunity and a lot of learning experiences and a lot of things that I won't be able to get anywhere else. We all have different stories, but we all want the same thing. We all want the white coat, the scrubs, the stethoscope. I can never pronounce that correctly. People like you and me are willing to work those 12-hour shifts, to study hours on end, to deal with difficult patients, to get barely any sleep, all so the world can be a better place. So this is it. The first, definitely not the last. Definitely going to be a lot of research, a lot of editing, but I look forward to sharing more information with you. And until next time, keep dreaming.